Tonight, concerns after new data revealed there's been a huge jump in Spencer Gulf motorists speeding in school zones. And fueling up to go on the run, Port Augusta police are on the hunt for this man after he allegedly stole alcohol and petrol in one night.
From our 7 Spencer Gulf studios, your nightly news with Madeline Kerr begins now.
Good evening, thanks for joining us. Thousands of children across the Spencer Gulf have returned to the classroom today for Term 2, and it comes with a warning for drivers in school zones. The RAA pleading with motorists to slow down after an increase of traffic offences in these areas. Mark Zita has more.
With children across the Spencer Gulf heading back to the classrooms today, motorists are being reminded about driving responsibly, especially around school zones. It comes after new data from the RAA has revealed the number of cars running red lights at school pedestrian crossings has surged by 46% over the past 2 years. Red light offences in general up from 2,542 in 2020 to 3,710 last year. In addition, the latest police figures have also shown a 3% increase in drivers being caught on camera speeding through crossings. In a statement, the RAA's Charles Mountain says he is concerned about the increase of offences at crossings for the first time since 2017. The RAA reminding drivers to obey the 25 km/h speed limit while in a school zone, and to be prepared to stop and watch out for children if they step out suddenly. In South Australia, lower speed limits could also be applied on weekends, especially when children are present during a sporting event or other out-of-school hours event. The state's peak motoring body also giving parking tips for parents at school zones, reminding them drivers will have a hard time spotting young children among parked vehicles. In addition, also reminding them not to park or double park across driveways of houses near school campuses. This year, the RAA Street Smart primary educators will visit more than 300 schools and 60 kindergartens across the state, including here in the Spencer Gulf. All drivers are reminded to allow for greater travelling time now school zone speed limits are back in place, and to be patient for young ones just trying to get to school.
Port Augusta police are investigating a robbery at a liquor store on Saturday night. About 7:50, a man allegedly entered the store on Commercial Road and threatened staff with a knife before stealing cash and miniature alcohol bottles. He fled the store and was last seen heading west along El Alamein Road. Police will also allege the same man stole petrol from a service station, filling up a grey Holden Cruise. The man is described as being of Caucasian appearance, about 170 centimetres tall, with sandy blonde hair and a heavy build. Anyone who recognises the man in this CCTV footage is asked to contact Crime Stoppers. Meanwhile, Port Pirie police are asking for public assistance following an equipment theft from a school last week. Officers say a drill was stolen from the grounds of a Mary Ellis Street school between 5 p.m. last Wednesday and 8 a.m. the next day. The drill is described to have a distinct engraving on it. Anyone with information regarding the stolen drill is also urged to contact Crime Stoppers. A historic trade agreement has been reached with India, which will give South Australian grain growers more exporting opportunities. The new agreement will see reductions of tariffs on a range of different products, reducing Australia's economic dependence on China.
A trade agreement with India coming to fruition after years of negotiations. The terms set to provide Australian grain growers new exporting opportunities.
So I think generally South Australian grain growers welcome the agreement with India. Australia's biggest exports to India have been wheat, chickpeas and lentils. I think pulses have struggled under recent tariffs in India.
The new market also reducing the nation's economic reliance on China.
I think it's always important to have diversity for our grain growers. And to have additional market options with tariffs removed is only a positive.
Tariffs are said to be removed on more than 85% of Australian exporting goods to India and is expected to rise over the next decade.
You know, there's a good market in India, particularly with the removal of tariffs in February for lentils. So we just need to continually build on our relationship with India.
farmers already sowing their crops as they prepare for this year's season.
You know, there's quite a few that are dry sowing at the moment, but the challenge really will be the high cost of inputs. So, fertiliser, chemical, those sort of inputs on farm.
The trade agreement between Australia and India is still in the early stages with negotiations ongoing. Henry Millick, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Still to come tonight, securing the future of hydrogen in the Upper Spencer Gulf, and the Barkindji woman's plan to tackle Broken Hill's housing supply issue and be kind to the environment at the same time. Welcome back. You're watching 7 Spencer Gulf News. The federal government has said they're willing to work cooperatively with the new Labor state government over their own hydrogen hub. It comes after an announcement to fund Santos's own hydrogen facility at Port Bonython.
Securing the future of hydrogen in the Upper Spencer Gulf. The member for Giles welcoming the federal government's announcement for $70 million towards Santos's hydrogen hub in Port Bonython.
Well, the state government are very supportive of Whyalla being a hydrogen hub. It was, after all, a previous Labor state government that funded the first hydrogen roadmap in Australia.
Last Friday, Federal Infrastructure and Energy Minister Angus Taylor making a whirlwind stop in the Upper Spencer Gulf for the announcement, with 2 other renewable and low emissions projects in the region also getting funding commitments.
I want this region to be one of the great clean energy powerhouses of the world. It is incredibly positioned to do it.
Minister Taylor also saying if the coalition gets re-elected into power, they will be happy to work with the new state government for their proposals for a hydrogen power plant in the same area. Labor's plan including a power plant, electrolyser and storage facility.
We want to work with all state governments. I mean, that's always our goal. Obviously, it's a new state government, but we'll work with every state government on these projects.
The member for Giles welcoming the sentiment from the Federal Energy Minister, however claiming the coalition's approach to renewable energy projects has been inconsistent.
If they are going to seriously commit to a green hydrogen hub, and I put the emphasis on a green hydrogen hub, they'll have very strong backing at a state level.
Mark Zita, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
The City of Port Lincoln is expected to receive close to $7 million in federal funding for an upgrade of the Punkala walking trail. The new project is part of Stage 3 of the foreshore developments and is set to provide a unique nature-based experience.
A long-awaited upgrade to Port Lincoln's Punkala Trail. The latest batch of federal funding is aiming to introduce a number of improvements to the foreshore.
The coalition government is committing to $6.8 million, or a bit over, for the refurbishment and extension of the Punkala Trail. We're standing here this morning at Axel Stenros, and there's a lot of work to be done on the trail, bring it back up to grade.
The project strategy was first developed back in 2008. Now, further construction will be on the way if Mr Ramsey's government is re-elected.
And it'll see a new coastal trail built from Axel Stenros through to the Lamani Hotel, and then some major upgrades along the roadside footpath from the Lamani through to the foreshore.
In order to complete a section of the coastal trail, Council will need the green light from current landholders.
The Lamani through to the foreshore, there's various different private landowners. If they agree, we will go coastal. If they don't agree, then we'll go roadside.
The Port Lincoln Council are hoping to begin work on the trail in the next 12 to 18 months. The trail was first developed in 1986. Now the council is looking to improve its walking surface and repair the retaining seawall. The development's hoping to be a drawcard for locals and visitors.
And I think we'll see a lot more of the locals getting out on their exercise in the morning, going for a walk, going for a run, all those things, and it'll be great for the Port Lincoln community as well.
Henry Millick, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
With a number of projects coming to Broken Hill, one company is looking to build eco-friendly homes to help tackle the housing supply issue. ClickBuild aims to get the whole community involved when it creates up to 500 homes for skilled workers and locals.
Supporting the growth of the Silver City, Barkindji woman Narelle Osborne will be overseeing the project since joining real estate company ClickBuild.
I was approached by ClickBuild, which is like a real estate development company, and they approached me to take on the project management side of the first display home in Broken Hill.
The houses will be built using U-panel, which is made out of the mining waste from refineries and mixed with concrete, making an eco-friendly product.
It's a very eco-friendly product and it goes together very, very quickly on site, which is great.
Having worked in the construction industry, mainly working with steel, Ms. Osborne is excited to work with the unique product. It is also something that is close to her heart.
I'm actually really looking forward to working with this product though, because it's something really, really different and it's outstanding. In the marketplace, there's nothing really like it.
Not only will the project help solve housing concerns for an increase in population, but it will also bring more jobs to the area.
Creating that circular economy within the community to provide jobs, even looking to work with, or inspire high school students, TAFE students and more.
The company is looking at building a display home in the next 6 weeks, depending on how the timeframes with the City Council go. For more information, visit the ClickBuild website. Joshua Mercer, 7 Spencer Golf News.
Stay with us after the break. A financial boost announced for those living with motor neuron disease in the Spencer Gulf. And it's that time of year, Port Augusta locals dress to the nines and flock to the races. Welcome back to 7 Spencer Golf News. Legacy Broken Hill's annual Golf Day saw dozens of participants descend on the Golf and Country Club over the weekend. The day helped raise money for families of war veterans and was enjoyed by all who attended.
It was a perfect day on the green. Dozens of locals stepping up to the tee and supporting Legacy. The organisation's secretary, Mark Winan, happy with the turnout from the community.
Very well supported by local people. So we had a really good day. Everything on the course worked well, so I think, couldn't ask for anything better.
Despite the numbers being down on previous years, those who did attend helped raise a lot of money to help widows in their time of need.
Mostly raised about $2,500 for the day, which is really, really good which will all go towards our widows. And I thank everyone for coming out on the day, and it was great, and thanks for the sponsors.
The money will help them with anything that they need, whether that be walking frames or any home maintenance. They also throw half-yearly and Christmas functions for ex-servicemen and women.
It all goes just to their well-being, keeps them safe in their homes, the people that are living home, people that need any aids, we help them out to get them, as in walking sticks, walking frames, wheelchairs, and just a bit of home maintenance to keep everything safe.
It's not too late to support the charity, with a few more events coming up, such as the Legacy Badge Day, as well as a shoot day at the Silver City Rifle Range.
Our next main event for raising big money is our Legacy Badge Day, which is usually around the first Friday of September. And that's just, we'll have badges, bears, just stickers and things like that we'll be selling in the streets and at the shopping centres.
Joshua Mercer, 7 Spencer Golf News.
More than $2 million will be provided by the state government to support South Australians living with motor neuron disease. Part of the funds will be used to help MNDSA establish a multidisciplinary team of health professionals to assist over 65s who can't get immediate support from the NDIS. The funds will be rolled out over a period of 4 years and were promised by the ALP at the recent state election. Port Augusta Racing Club has welcomed patrons back to the racetrack for the start of the new season. The club says they expect this year to be bigger than ever, with the weekend's event the first in a strong lineup.
You can bet that this racing season will be a winner. Crowds returned to Port Augusta Racecourse yesterday for the first time this year. Many tried their luck on the horses, while others simply came for a good time with friends.
It's great to see a lot of people out here enjoying the facilities that we've got, especially the lawns and the playground, and the racing's been fantastic too.
The grounds were looking in tip-top shape, with many opting to sprawl out over the lawns to watch the races in the sunshine.
They've got beautiful central oval X lawn exposed out there, looks absolutely fantastic. And the race course itself and the committee should hold their heads up proud. It looks absolutely fabulous.
Children loving the play equipment that was installed in the off-season, while adults loved the music that was playing and the drinks that were flowing.
It's been a really good day at the races. We've had lots of really good weather. It's been a really good time.
Well, it's fantastic this time of year is when people enjoy racing and family days out.
The club says the first day of racing was a success and expects crowds to only get larger as they move on to their theme racing days.
We've got another 6 race meetings, so great opportunities for everyone to come out. Our next race meeting is on a Friday afternoon, which is a little bit unique. It's a tradies day, so we encourage all the locals to knock their tradies off a little bit early and get them out to the races.
Edward McCarroll, 7 Spencer Golf News.
Stay with us after the break. We'll have the wrap of the weekend footy scores right across the region, and we'll have the weather details with Alex Sykes. Welcome back to 7 Spencer Golf News. It was another bumper weekend for football in our region, with many teams facing off against rivals from last season. With teams' new and improved lineups, it looks as though the ladder placings might be in for a shake-up this year. Here with all the details is Edward McCarroll with the footy wrap.
After shaking the dust off their boots, our region's footy teams are rearing up as we get back into the swing of things this season. While it is still early days, some teams are clearly dominating their competition. In Whyalla, Southies and Roona Bay faced off at Memorial Oval. For the first 10 minutes, Southies looked like a brand new team, with players bringing the speed and quick ball movements that were missing last season. The new and improved team still eventually succumbing to the attacking force of their opponents. Adam Nicol, a standout for Roona Bay this week, kicking 3 goals and guiding the Bays to victory. In the other game, Centrals took on Westies at Bennett Oval. Centrals dominated the contest and won the game 94-48, while later that day, Rapina beat North by 61 points. In the Spencer Golf League, the Prop Risen Lions have continued their intimidating start to the season, ending their Friday night game with a score of 115, crushing Port in the process, who only scored 46. In Port Augusta, West and South faced off, and while each team scored some cracker goals, it was Jamal McKenzie and Cameron Tigerman's performance for South that stole the show. Between them, they scored 9 goals, helping South to break away from West and win by 37 points. In the last game, Solomon Town came, saw and conquered. Travelling up the Gulf to Port Augusta on Saturday, the away team defeated Central Augusta 73-45, making the trip up well and truly worth it. In Port Lincoln, Wayback and Lincoln South faced off in a nail-biting match that came right down to the wire. The close contest saw Lincoln South win by only 4 points, a defeat that Wayback will surely look to rectify when the teams next meet. In the other games, Marble Range took on Boston, where Brock Davies was a controlling force on the oval. Marble Range's dominance over Boston's midfielders saw them win 86-38. Tasman versus Mallee Park was a similar affair, with Mallee Park looking a bit more polished than their competitors. Tasman was kicking goals just not as consistently as their opponents, who went on to win by 31 points. Finally, in Broken Hill, North and Centrals went head-to-head. The first half saw the teams locked in a fairly even contest, with each side producing plenty of goals. But in the second half, Centrals fell away badly, eventually going down by 40 points, a heartbreaking sight for a team that was looking strong. In the other game, West and South battled it out in a super close contest, but eventually it was Westies that took the win by 5 points. That's it for this week's Footy Wrap. Tune in tomorrow where we'll take a look at the region's other sport results.
Time now to take a look at what's happening in the weather with Alex Sykes. Alex, it's about to get wet.
Good evening to you and our viewers, Maddie. And that's right, showers are on their way for parts of our region for the rest of the working week. I'll have more detail on that in just a moment. Let's first take a look at today's mainly fine conditions. From 3 p.m, Broken Hill was partly cloudy and 18 degrees, Woodner was partly cloudy and 24, and Cooper Pedy was sunny and 21. Looking further out across the region now, Port Augusta, Port Lincoln, Port Pirie, Kadina and Cleve were all 23 degrees, while and Clare were both 21, and our friends in Adelaide had partly cloudy conditions and reached 22. Taking a look at the satellite image now, patchy low cloud in onshore winds is bringing isolated showers to coastal South Australia. Thick cloud crossing the far north near the edge of a cloud band is not bringing any rain. Clear elsewhere under building high pressure, leading to a cool night ahead. Moving on to tomorrow's weather outlook now, and we'll start with the Gulf waters. Variable winds about 10 knots, seas will be below a metre, and south to southwesterly swells 1 to 1.5 metres. Showers in the Eyre Peninsula tomorrow. Port Lincoln is set to reach 22, Cleve and Woodner both to top 24 degrees. Whyalla will be sunny and 24. Port Augusta also sunny with a max of 25 degrees there. Kadina will have a late shower or two and get to 24. Port Pirie will get to a high of 25. Clare mostly sunny and 21. And Broken Hill will be sunny and reach 20 degrees. Taking a look further through the week now, partly cloudy in Woodner and Broken Hill, both to reach 17. Whyalla, Port Lincoln and Kadina will all have showers and also reach 17. Possible shower in Port Augusta with a top of 19. Those showers are set to continue through to Thursday. Mostly sunny in Broken Hill, only reaching 14. A shower or two in Port Pirie with 18, 17 in Port Lincoln and Kadina, which will both have a shower or two. To Friday's forecast now, and not a lot of change across the board. Mostly sunny in Cooper Pedy with 19, and be partly cloudy in both Woodner and Broken Hill. Let's hope it clears up in time for the weekend, Maddie, and that's all the weather from me for tonight. It's back to you.
Thanks for that, Alex. And that's the local news this Monday. I'm Madeline Kerr. Thanks for joining us. I'll have updates later, but until then, enjoy your evening. Good night.